Welcome back. We had to talk about red pillars in some sort of way.
Again!
For the last couple of weeks, I've been highly anticipating a very huge fight that was coming up. One that was going to change the shape of the entire social media landscape. Not really to that big a degree, but I was interested in this fight when I saw that it was actually going to be a thing. I was like, first of all, I was really shocked to see that this was actually going to be an event. And it was a fight between the leader of Cobra Kai, the leader of Hustlers University, the alpha male, the apparent top G, now bottom G himself, Andrew Tate, versus Chase Demoor, the guy who knocked the lights up out of Stevie Knight a couple months ago, and we made fun of that a lot on this channel with this edit.
Oh no.
And I remember he beat the Sonic rings right out of Stevie. And really, he did have a huge size advantage when it came to Stevie. So that was one of those things I really did just applaud Stevie for really getting into the ring. I didn't really hate on him for, well, losing the physical battle, even though he technically won the fight. Sort of like Chase Demoor actually won this fight last night. There was no decision. I mean, it was a decision, but there really shouldn't have been a decision. It was unanimous. And he did give Andrew Tate Demoor them hands. And he said, you can have Demoor these nuts. And he was going to leave him absolutely demoralized. Oh! Yeah, a whole bunch of cheesy puns on his name, but that's all I kept thinking of when I saw this terrible ass weenie hug fest of a fight. This fight was trash. I mean, I was utterly disappointed when I was watching this fight. I remember how he was swinging at Stevie, and I mean, he was throwing some actual like punches at Stevie. This shit that he was throwing at Andrew Tate in this fight was embarrassing. Andrew Tate's neck looked extremely long. It looked longer than normal. His head was even more penis shaped than it normally is. And he got beat like a dick out there. I mean, it was sad. And I'm talking about one of those like real gooners on the internet. One of those people who never leaves his keyboard. One of those skeet warriors. One of those. I mean, his head got pummeled last night in a very weird looking way because the punches that Chase was throwing weren't really convincingly tough or strong or like, wow, he really just clocked his ass. I never saw really any of those. It was just a small war of attrition where Andrew Tate came out looking strong in the first 2 rounds, and by round 3 he was gassed. Andrew Tate had nothing in the tank after round 3, actually just during round 3 and the rest of the match. The final 4 rounds, he was done. Cooked. Chase Demoor was just such a bad fighter, it literally took him the entire match to actually convince him that he was winning the fight. Andrew Tate came out strong, and I'm talking about the crowd was like, oh, Andrew! I mean, these people were ready to skeet all over the place if he was to win this fight. Oh my God, I know they were praying for a knockout. I mean, these dudes had their hands straight in their pants, ready with Vaseline. I'm pretty sure they provided Vaseline at this event because they knew how crazy these fans were. I mean, I'm talking about the level of meat riding that you can just hear. I could feel it through my phone. I mean, it was scary. I'm like, good Lord, is this what it's like to be around a cult? I mean, damn, it felt like there might have been tiki torches in there as well. I mean, this is way worse than the Shador Sanders thing that I was mentioning, or well, I hadn't even got to that video yet, but still, it's one of those situations. Tebow Mania, not even close. I'm talking about the cult of Mother God. This was what that felt like. This felt like Jim Jones, people ready to drink the Kool-Aid and just disappear, delete themselves from this earth, be abducted by the aliens that were never coming. That's what this felt like. But this fight was just pathetic. Andrew Tate has no hands. I know people are gonna be like, oh dude, he hasn't fought in 5 years. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn he ain't fought in no 5 years. This man was a professional kickboxer. It doesn't mean he doesn't have hands. Damn. I mean, he doesn't just train only his feet. These people train multiple parts of their body. It's not like he never practiced boxing. This man looked like he had never thrown a punch before, and if he had, he has no punching power. Andrew Tate was hitting like a effing whoopee cushion. That shit was pathetic. I mean, like, honestly, I am convinced at this point in time after watching that fight that Stevie Knight actually would beat Andrew Tate. I really believe that. If Stevie can get his cardio up, Stevie was actually going to throw some real punches, and if he didn't tire out, I think he could have clocked Andrew Tate, and he would have took him down. I really do, because he wasn't going to knock out Stevie. Stevie got caught up by the fact that Chase Demoor just was so much heavier and bigger than he was, and he did get him with a few good shots, and I think that's all that was. I think if Stevie prepared a little bit more, he can go out there and give a better showing. That Chase, I don't know what happened. Chase Demoor wasn't a good fighter already, but he fought better in the Stevie fight, which is just really sad. Now, there was this all intimate moment afterwards where he did say that, you know, Andrew Tate had pulled him out of a dark place and he helped him from, you know, committing self-deletion. And I'm very happy about that because nobody wants to see that. And I'm glad that he was pulled out of a dark place because everybody wants to see people be happy in life and succeed. Maybe not people like Andrew Tate or Myron or a whole bunch of these other, like, you know, closeted Andrew Tate meat riders. Maybe none of them we really care that much about. But I don't know Chase Demoor very much. Apparently he was just a reality TV star that got into celebrity boxing, and now he's a celebrity boxing heavyweight amongst a division of just shitty ass fighters. I mean, none of these dudes are good.
This man literally pulled me out of a suicide, man. I was gonna myself after that first fight. This man works every single day on his podcast. Told me to fight through that shit, man. I don't care what anybody says about this guy. He's a fucking legend. Respect, brother. Thank you so much.
I mean, it is so sad to watch this. Like, dude, it almost makes me want to go into the ring. I mean, these dudes had no hands. I mean, just why? I mean, you're seeing it. The punches, the hugging. It was mostly just hugging. These dudes kissed. Nigga! They kissed during this match. Not intentionally, but it looked like it. Maybe it was. Maybe it was like, maybe since Chase had all this love for Andrew at some point in time, he's like, dude, bro, I love you. Let me get this in.
I beg your pardon?
This is my opportunity. This feels like the movie The Sandlot when Sphinx basically decided he was going to pass out over there by the pool and pretend like he was drowned. No, this is my opportunity. That's what Chase Demoor did. Let me lock lips with the snake himself, the big cobra. Let me get my hands on that cobra. That's what it looked like was going on. Andrew got caught up in some very bad looking positions during this fight where he was on his knees, head at the genitals of Chase Demoor. And I mean, it was really unbecoming of the man. I mean, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, just like when Woman Propaganda got the dog shit smacked out of him the other day, got the white smacked out of him, damn near almost got smacked to being actually a non-racist, but he didn't get smacked to that far, you know, across reality. It was real close though. And guess what? All his fans have been cooking him lately in his comments on Instagram. He ain't shit no more. They said, hey bro, you know what? Yeah, your message just doesn't quite hit the same anymore after I saw you get bitch smacked like that. Can't respect you, bro. It just doesn't feel right. Same thing's gonna happen to Andrew Tate. Outside of people making up a long laundry list of excuses longer than the Jeffrey Epstein files, that's all you're gonna see is a bunch of people being like, it just don't hit the same anymore when he be saying shit. And that's why Myron be avoiding these hands, because he knows once he goes out there and actually gets knocked out, ain't nobody gonna listen to him anymore. When they see him snap over the top like the ice cream cone he's built like, people will fail to listen to his message. Damn, what a bitch Myron is. Even though everybody's been saying that on all these hating ass channels for all these years, I finally seen it now. Some of them people will be able to say, I finally have proof now. I've seen everything I need to see to finally be like, you know what? I no longer need to listen to Fresh and Fit. You know what? Oh my God, maybe Fresh can't actually fight. I guess Fresh really doesn't have abs. Fresh really didn't bang 1,000 chicks. Oh my God. Come to find out, all this messaging, all this shit they've been telling you is lies. Them being tough guys, lies. These guys being alpha males, lies. These guys being true leaders of men, lies. Some of these guys actually being rich, lies. These guys had no game. Everything about them is a facade. Even all the way down to their weak ass, pussyfooting, whoopee cushion ass hands. These people is dog shit. And I mean, this fight was a real culmination of a lot of things. Vengeance for Stevie out here. Let's get it back for Stevie. I'm upset that Stevie had to lose to Chase Demoor because Chase Demoor really can't fight. I can't emphasize that enough as I continue to rant and my dog continues to cough in the background. Good Lord. But still, I'm like, you know what? I'm still glad that this fight happened. It needed to happen. And to see that Cobra Kai himself was on his knees, beaten up, leaking blood. This man was bleeding out off some soft ass Kirby cushion punches. And it wasn't Kirby who was laying the wood because he can hit. Like, Chase Demoor hit him like he was being slapped with peanut butter, and it still made him bleed. Christ, I'm starting to wonder if they ever lubed up Andrew before he got in the ring. I mean, he was shining. I'm assuming that they lubed him up with Vaseline so he don't get cut so easily. But I'm telling you, he was bleeding out, man. Bleeding out like it was a damn slasher film. I mean, it was... That was... this fight was so bad. I can't emphasize it enough how terrible this fight was. It went 6 rounds. And the fact that there was actually a judge that voted that this was a tie. Dude, this fight was not close. And it was trash. Nothing but hugs and hits from Chase Demoor to Andrew Tate. You saw a couple connections, and they were usually on Chase's behalf. Like, it got to a point in time later in the fight that Andrew Tate's hits were so weak, Chase was just walking through them. Andrew just trying to like sneak in some punches. They did let a lot of wrestling go on in the ring. I mean, you could tell that Chase was pretty much just sunning Andrew after a while, which is the craziest part to me. Every time they got locked up, you could tell who was physically stronger between the two. Because with Andrew's long ass neck and Chase's long ass arms, it was real easy for those things to get tangled. And it always looked like he was getting sunned and getting pushed in the back of the head. And then the next thing you know, he got a little jab to the face. Then it got to the point where he actually got cut, and then he was damaged, and then he was on the ropes. Not only did he fall down, it's just that he crumpled. He had no legs. He looked like a person that was past it out there trying to give it one more shot. And the sad thing is, he was still supposed to work this man. 5 years off is no excuse. You were supposed to be the pro, and you're supposed to be the top G. And once again, now you're getting memed to hell out here as the bottom G. And it feels appropriate, especially with all the stuff and you and your boys, all the, boys being boys. Y'all out there doing your thing, promoting this pro-gay narrative, which is cool if y'all want to do that. I don't care. Y'all just keep acting like it's a problem to be gay while you keep trying to indoctrinate a whole bunch of young men to be that way.
A little later, but I'm just curious. On the one hand, there's this terrible genocide going on of white people. On the other hand, you want people effectively to stop going near women because they all turn out to be so ghastly, so they shouldn't presumably procreate. So how does that work? I mean, aren't you with your rhetoric actively encouraging men not to associate with these ghastly women, therefore not have any more children? Therefore you are contributing, Nick Fuentes, to the diminishing white population. I'm confused.
I mean, I just think it's really funny. I just think it's really funny that all y'all are this way, and then all of y'all are softer than puppy piss. It's just a sad thing, man. How? I mean, it's really funny to see y'all all kind of get y'all's like wake up calls here right before the end of 2025. But it's also just strange to see how bitch made and how terrible most of y'all really are. I mean, y'all just is. Woo! I ain't got enough terrible things to say about this fight. This was embarrassing. And the fact that these people made probably a good amount of money off of this is even more disturbing. Even more disturbing. Now, I know earlier I mentioned that Chase Demoor and Andrew had their intimate moment after the fight where, Chase was very thankful for the things that Andrew had did in his life and how much of a role model he was and how much of an inspiration Andrew Tate was in his life. And all I kept thinking was, come on, bruh. I'm pretty sure that this man is a human sex trafficker. And
I could care less.
We're going to sit here and act like this is supposed to be somebody we're supposed to really be rooting for. It just lets me know that everybody that was in that auditorium or gymnasium or arena or wherever the hell they had this fight at, because I do not know the location, it was just full of a bunch of incel, hating, angry, sad, pathetic ass losing people that if all of them disappeared, nobody would have cared really.
I could care less.
And that sounds very harsh for me to say, but I mean, come on, man. Andrew Tate is your role model. I'm not to hate on your role models, and I'm glad that he did something to help save your life. Because for whatever reason, people keep trying to convince me that Myron Gaines saved their life somehow, and I'm trying to figure out how. I'm like, if you were that far in the sunken place that Myron pulled you out, I'm pretty sure you're still down there. I don't think you actually pulled yourself out. I think you're just stuck on a cliff that hasn't put you at the very bottom yet. Myron is just holding on to you, waiting to let go at any moment because that's kind of the backstabby piece of shit that he is.
I could care less.
That's just kind of how I feel about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure King Von said a pretty, maybe a few profound things in his life. I'm pretty sure he did. Ted Bundy was a smart guy.
I could care less.
Ted Bundy, I mean, he was his own representative as a lawyer. He almost convinced them that he did not murder all those hundreds of people. He was that smart. I'm pretty sure he said a lot of good things.
I could care less.
Dahmer, I don't know, that might be a stretch, but I'm just saying all sorts of terrible people done said, a couple of good things.
I could care less.
Maybe did something to enlighten somebody and make them feel good about themselves. Maybe those were extreme examples, and maybe that's a little bit much. But come on, you get the point. These people aren't good.
I could care less.
I mean, I know Diddy has to have said something positive, made somebody feel good for half a minute before he slapped the shit out of them.
I could care less.
Before he made them drink a bottle of piss or, eat a bucket of shit or whatever the hell he had them do, rub semen all over their hair. Before he did that, I'm pretty sure he said something that made them think, wow, I can go do something incredible.
I could care less.
But he was still terrible.
I could care less.
And he's still terrible.
I could care less.
Just like those other people were still terrible, just like Andrew Tate is still terrible. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend for 1 second that, oh my God, he saved my life. And I'm going to act like I give a damn that Andrew Tate somehow did that for you.
I could care less.
Andrew Tate is slaughtering a whole generation of young men's mindsets. And he was the leader of it. Hell, and then he just got all these little demon spawns running around here, not knowing what the hell they're talking about either, just piggybacking off of the stuff that he says. Just parroting all his words, all his messages.
You mean me?
Just like loyal cultists.
Liar.
Not even knowing what they're doing. Not even realizing that they done sacrificed their wives over to the man who's banging them right in front of them now.
I beg your pardon?
That's the kind of crap that they're a part of. That's the crap that all these young men are a part of. And for whatever reason, people can't get them out of that place. And that's the scarier part. Because people like Andrew Tate probably made, I don't know how much money off of this event.
I could care less.
We are platforming these people, still giving them time, giving them attention.
I could care less.
Relevance.
I could care less.
That's why I was happy that he lost. And I might be willing to pay to watch him lose again. But not a third time. I didn't pay this last time. And this shit was on freaking Rumble and it stuttered the entire freaking time. Good Lord, man. I mean, you're talking about streaming issues. This shit was really bad. This thing was running in about 480. This was a struggle stream. And I mean, I tried to watch this very deeply on my phone, and my phone always comes through clutch. It didn't hear. It was because it was Rumble. And that's what you get when you go to Rumble, which is their only home because they had nowhere else to go. And I wonder why.
I could care less.
But that's all I got on this trash. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll holler at you soon. Peace.